far away from here. So have you managed to run the image?
So
lovely.
Can you hear me? Perfect.
Testing.
Testing. So if you downloaded the image, you got something like this. You have VMs for Linux, Mac, and Windows. And now I'm going to just open the Pharo one. I get an exception, but this is just for my setup. So today we are going to play a little bit with Microsoft Azure. So luckily, Francois here made some bindings for Microsoft Azure storage. So we can have some objects that represent resources from Azure. So that's a remote storage, so it manages blobs. And in Azure, a blob can store anything, unstructured data or structured data or binary streams. And we can then access them from Pharo, and we're going to see a little bit how we can use the inspector to improve the way we look at these objects, the objects of this particular system. So thanks, Francois, for providing us with the setup. It was a very nice use case. So I opened this image, perfect. But before, I would just like to show you how we used the inspector to solve a very particular problem that we had while developing a new code editor. So at a certain point, this is a simple playground. Here is like a workspace. And this is a text editor. And we re-implemented this with Rubric, a new editor. And at a certain point, the key bindings, our key bindings didn't work properly. So we pressed some keys and we got no action. We got the action that we didn't expect. So it was very strange. And we wanted to debug that. So let's try to open a standard inspector on this morph. So in this case, I can just use the hellos, and I will inspect the morph. Now we got this morph. And now we get a view that shows the state of the object. And this view is perfect if you want to understand how this morph is represented, what's its internal structure. But we wanted to know the key bindings. We really wanted to know the key bindings of a morph. And in Pharo, there is a framework key mapping. That's very nice, very nicely designed, but it completely decouples the morph from its key bindings. And if you want to find the key bindings of a morph, you have to open at least 10 different inspectors, look around. It's quite a difficult, yeah?
Yeah, I don't know, we want to find. I know one thing, and I see the playground with something like Azure.
Yes, so now,
So what's the difference between Azure and key binding?
no, first I want to show you a problem that we had with the inspector, a particular use case. And
so
then
the idea is we get to warm up. In order to warm up and use the inspector, we're just going to use it on a simple case. Yeah. So go on that window and then press Ctrl-Shift.
If you open the hellos.
So if you go here on that whole window and you press Ctrl-Shift and right-click.
Oh yeah, that's another.
Okay. Then you say Explore. And this will open you an inspector on the whole window. Okay? Did you manage to get that? Anybody has problems with that? Okay. So now you want to see and find, you want to find the morph that has the text editor in it. So that means that at this point we need to go and navigate the tree.
Yes, so for that, luckily we have a dedicated view which shows the submorphs. So now if I select a morph here, I'm going to get it to the right, and then I can switch to the morph, and now I can look around to find the morph that I need. And in this case, I'll have to, can you follow?
So if you have questions, just raise your hand and I come and join you.
And here we have them in a quite nested hierarchy. So it's this one. So here we have the Rub scroll text morph. And actually, we go a little deeper, and this is the morph that we actually need. Rub editing area. And now for this morph, we have a dedicated presentation, and I can switch just to it, that simply shows the key bindings of a morph. And this is an information that by default, it's very, very difficult to extract.
So
but now by default, with a simple...
So.
Okay, so now with a simple presentation, we get exactly what I wanted to know, the key bindings of a morph. Okay, but let's go to the Azure one, because I guess that's more exciting. Perfect. Okay, I do the Azure one because it's far more fun. So we had this playground in the image. So is everybody with me? Alex, Yannick? So let's do the Azure. So if you have this is a code that creates it creates a key, and then it obtains a blob service from Azure. So now we can, for example, maximize this window. So we can select all this code, and now we can right-click, and we can choose Open. So this executes the code and returns me an object representing an Azure service. Has anybody gotten here? Perfect. So now I get its AZ blob service. So this is the object that represents the remote connection to the Azure. And on the Azure server, I have a bunch of resources. They are organized in containers. It's like folders. A folder is called a container, and then I have some blobs that contain the files. And now I would like to look at those. I would like to have on this object, I like to see how can I explore the content of this object, because I like to know what are the containers that I have in this service. But if I look at the state of this object, I just have the authentication key. So I have no way of getting to that information. So for that, we'll extend this object with a new presentation that will show us the content. So for that, let's switch to the Meta tab. So this is the source code. So it's still the old code editor. So now I can select the first class, AZ blob service, and just select a method. Now to add a method, I still have to select, for example, the code, delete it, and then create the new method. So now, usually, to add a new presentation to an object, we have to create a new method and annotate it with a certain annotation. And usually, we name them starting with GT. So it comes from the glamorous toolkit. So in this case, it will be perhaps GTInspector containers in. And this has to have a parameter that's somehow the canvas on which we are going to create our visualization. Should be something like this. Perfect. And now we can save this if you want, and then it will ask you for your name, because it's Pharo. And now we can, for example, add the annotation. So in this case, we have to add here, it's GTInspector presentation, and it also order. And it gets a number. For example, we can give it 20, and this is used in the tab widget in order to put the presentations in a certain order. Yes, thank you. Not Igor, the inspector. So GTInspector presentation order. And the value is just a number used to order the presentations. So if you save, and now nothing happens because we still didn't create anything in this method. So did you reach? Perfect. So now, let's say I want a list presentation. So I want to have a list with all the containers that are contained in this service. So I can say a composite list. So this is Glamour, and this is how I create a presentation in Glamour. So if you just write this, and for example I save, now I saved, you see that it added here a tab. So it already added this presentation, but now it's nothing here. It doesn't have a title, and it has no content, just the current object. So let's give it a title. So let's say containers. Okay, so now again I can save. Command S or Control S to save, and it changed the title to containers, but it still has no content. So now we need to add some content, and for that you use cascades. So here it's a semicolon, and now I'm sending another message to this object, and I'm telling it, now I have to tell it what information should be in that list. And for that, I have the display method, that a block, and this block should return a list of elements. So now, if you browse to the code of this class, you'll see that it has a method called list containers that automatically connects to the Azure remote service and returns you a list of objects representing those containers. So now I just want to have those. So I just call here self list containers. And again, if you save, and then, yes?
Could I inspect the results right in place? Before
Yes, so you have here, so now for example you could do it on open, or that's what you had in mind?
Yeah.
So if you want to test what this returns before switching to the containers, self is bound here. So you can just say do it on open, and now you got that remote object, which is an XML ordered list, and it has 3 items. Yes, it's no,
so
we're in the inspector.
The suggestion, the comment from Alex says that, well, this is basically the same feeling you get as in the debugger. And it's absolutely true, except that the difference is that the debugger is perfect for showing algorithms. When you have to play with an algorithm, because when the stack is important, then you play in the debugger. But for everything else that is just more state-related, the debugger is not the perfect place to be. And this is the alternative.
Perfect. So now we can see that it has 3 items. So now if we switch to the container view, it should have the same 3 items. However, here you see that it has 3 items, but they are not formatted yet. So for that, we need to tell it how to display those items in the list. So that's on the cloud. So those are. So I have here an AZ blob service. That's a remote object to Azure server, and I can ask that object, give me your containers that you have remotely. So this returns me the containers remotely from that object. So this is all from the cloud. So you need internet in order to work. Otherwise. Perfect. So now let's format those a little. So for that we'll use a format block. And again you use semicolon because it's a cascade. So this block will receive as a parameter each time each element. So it will get each element of the list. And we just want the container name. And we can format this a little bit. So the format block, that's called for each object, and we like to format it using the name of the container. And again, I just save, and then I can switch to the containers. And now I have here all the buckets or all the containers from the server. So I have 3 in this case. So anybody got to here? Who did not? They? Is it okay? Yeah.
What Luke is saying is that you can then see this one as a, like you're observing that you're editing code right now, but the cool thing about editing this code is the self is bound.
So I can say like this. I can switch here to containers. I can go here to meta, and I can edit this save. Now it still is not committed yet. It won't update, but that's done, but it's not committed. So it will update live, so you can see live while you're editing the changes.
That's why you need it.
Yeah, no, I didn't commit yet, but if I, for example, if I will change this, now it doesn't save. It doesn't refresh it automatically.
What Andrei means is that this feature is not yet in the production. That's what it means.
It's on my computer, but not in this image. So I can't show you that it works, but it will work. So you can do this thing, and it's very nice because you can edit live and see the results. So this was very easy to do. So it was 1, 2, 3, 4 lines of code depending how you're counting. So now here I want to find more information about these containers. So now as behind I have the object, it's enough to select any of these. And let's select Pharo files. So I select Pharo files, and now I got to the right that container. So again, this is a container that refers to a remote location from an Azure service. And now I like to see the content of this container. But again, you can look as much as you want here. You won't see anything. It just has the name, the location, the key, some properties, but that's it. You have no information about the content of this container.
So who has ideas as to where the, how would you approach this problem? So if you look in the methods, so this is a container. If you look in the methods, it inherits from objects. So this is what you see here. Everything below are the superclasses. And you see here you just have setters and getters.
So there is here, actually in this container, there is no method to get its content. There is no method.
No, wait, there is no, I cannot get it from the object alone.
So I just have the object.
Yeah, but the question is how would you, what's the problem here? Because in the previous one, right, just having self was enough. I had self, and then I just I just asked for list containers, and then I could get it, and then I mapped that result on a nice presentation. But now in this object, I don't have.
So I just have setters and getters.
Thing.
There is.
So what? You mean, and then basically you're saying you need two objects, right? I need the service and the containers.
So
how good is that? But what do we do? Because now, in our GTInspector, we only have,
one object. So in order to get the content of this object, I need to use the previous object, because that object that holds the connection, that's the object that knows how to get the content of a container. The container itself doesn't know that. It's just an object that is just a data object, more or less.
So basically, you need both the service and the container. And then, what you want to also is that when you're going from the service and you're clicking on containers, then you know, okay, if the previous object is a service, then I can use that object and get my list. Right? That's the kind of thing that you can do. Right, but the problem then, so you were saying, okay, I could put this list of containers, and it could be the association between the service and the container, right? So the container could get the association inside the service. But the problem is that if you would click there, you would see an association object on the right-hand side, which is not what you want, right? Because you want to browse your objects. So this is where there is more than meets the eye. So in this case, you really want, it's not just object-specific, but it's flow-specific. You want to define a presentation that is flow specific. So
this will take some little bit more lines of code, but it can be done. So again, we'll create a method. Let's call it GTInspector files in, and we say again a composite. But now this method will have two parameters. The second will say in context GT context. And now the second parameter will give us access to our previous history, to all the objects that we currently have in the inspector. So then we can use that one to bind these two together.
Just as a remark, so you know how in Smalltalk we have three keywords, right? Self, super, and this context. Because it turns out that if you have this context available everywhere, right, tool building becomes cheaper. For example, in Scala, they just came to this realization, and this is like a major breakthrough. And that's, interesting. But so the same thing applies here. So where you can pass the context in, and then you can play with it.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, exactly. So now I can add again the annotation. GTInspector presentation order, let's give it 20. So again, we can save. So now again, let's put another list. And we'll give it as a title note block. Files. So now if I save, I will get here the tab that now contains no files. So now let's write the display block. And this display block has to return us the content of this container, the list of blobs. So we can use a GT context. And now I can ask this previous entity. And again, if you want to see, but better ask it previous entity to self. So I really want the entity before this object.
But this implies that if you use the same object in a different,
Yes, that will be.
you won't get there.
Yeah, you can use the previous entity. That will be fixed. Yeah, that's coming. Right now it implies that one, but that will be fixed in the next release, in the next version. Because if you have the same object in 2, it won't get. Right now it will get because it does some tricks, but you'll always be able to get the previous object where you currently are. So you won't have that problem. Or all the list of objects previously to you, if you have more. So that is going to be done. What? Yeah, somehow. But now it's like this. Okay, we can see that. But again, the idea is that you'll be able to access your previous history and use those objects to create new presentations. So now we put this in parentheses. So now we got the previous object. This is the blob service. And now the blob service has a method with a longer name called list blobs with prefix in container. So list blobs.
Tab.
No? With
Tab.